Robert, who's been a client of me now for just over 12 months.
Yeah.
And I was going to talk to Robert a little bit about perhaps his journey over the last 12 months. So Robert, like, first of all, really, like, what was it that made you approach me for training? What did you want from the training?
What I was looking for was, I'm 47 now actually, 47?
Just
47 now, and I've always been quite tall and lean. I got to 40 and found that I just wasn't losing weight and feeling as fit as I used to.
Yeah.
And I've been umming and ahhing about doing something about it for a long time and hadn't. Heard about you and thought, well, if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. So
yeah. So over the last 12 months, the training's been coming our way, hasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, when we first started out, it was nice, nice and easy in terms of like just learning the movements, and then now we've progressed on and it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you say? So what would you say over the last 12 months has helped you to keep getting results like you have? Because you went like this in terms of your results. We have like, everyone has periods where they level off a little bit,
yeah.
and then more recently you've picked it up again. So what would you say?
Consistency really is the key.
Okay.
Coming twice a week, religiously, with a few odd gaps of maybe a session or two, but basically sticking at it and coming consistently and sticking with the diet as best you can. But again, doing it consistently.
And then also like I've sort of like given you little things to do as well. I mean, I know you go swimming, you've been swimming, haven't you? And little things like that as well. So they all help.
They do,
I think.
Yeah.
Just like Robert says, that consistency, really trying to keep things going. In terms of the nutrition, then we mentioned that. What would you say? Like, what would you describe perhaps like a little bit about the philosophy that we adapt? And it's not. I mean, I would say it's not necessarily about calorie counting. How would you?
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I mean, I've always historically been somebody that likes puddings and custard and clotted cream and so on.
Yeah.
And initially it was quite hard work cutting those out.
Yeah.
But you do get to a point, if you stick at it, you do get to a point where you don't miss it, and then when somebody does offer it to you, you feel comfortable not to say that you don't want it.
Yeah.
You don't. And if you do lapse and do try something, which I have on odd occasions, you don't feel particularly special afterwards. It does make you feel bloated and.
Yeah, and I think, but also on top of that as well, at least then when you do have something like that, it's a treat rather than part of the normal diet.
Absolutely.
So I think, like from a cravings point of view, it's fine to have that little treat every now and again, just so you know that you're in control.
Absolutely.
Really, so it is always a treat rather than a.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I would say is it does take time. It took me probably 6 months, I would say, to feel that I was in control and that I didn't have to have a biscuit with every cup of coffee, or indeed I could stop having coffee and tea.
Yeah, because I mean, one of the first things that we did when you came in was a food diary, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you've been keeping a food diary now. I think I've got 12 months worth of food, so I know exactly what Robert's eating, barring a few holidays. I know exactly what you've eaten for the last 12 months.
Yeah.
And one of the major things I think, well, Robert will probably tell you in a minute what he thinks, but I think one of the major things that Robert's done is improve his hydration. So he's drinking a lot more water than we were.
Absolutely,
drinking a lot more water.
Yeah.
We've reduced the coffee, so that coffee's a diuretic. So that's. What would you say, Robert? I mean,
well, coffees and teas are cut out completely, just about, except on very rare occasions.
Yeah.
And drinking a lot more water.
Yeah.
And sticking to a fairly basic diet, really.
Yeah. Just keep things simple, really. I think that's probably the answer. In terms of just going back to training quickly before we get cracking, how would you sort of describe to someone in a nutshell the style of training that we do, and perhaps how it maybe helps you to keep going in terms of like your consistency with your training? So, would you describe it as varied? Would you describe it as
Yeah, I mean it's varied. Yeah, I mean you give me a program which normally lasts about 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Is that right? And that's normally aimed at achieving a certain goal that we'll have set in terms of what historically has been waist measurements and things like that, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Body mass and so on. So every 6 to 8 weeks there's a new program. Some exercises are repeated and some are new.
Yeah.
It is a good variety. You never feel stale, and then within any 2 weeks I come once a week twice a week, sorry, but in any week there's always
different sessions.
different sessions. So I'm only repeating the same session once a fortnight.
Yeah. And then with it, and even when that same session comes up, it's always different because we're always striving for more reps or to do the same amount of work in less time, or we're using different levels of resistance, or perhaps we're using less rest between the exercises.
Sure.
Just to tweak it really. So that's how we adapt it.
Yeah. Or you've been on a course and come back with some.
Yeah, come back with some crazy new ideas.
Torture.
Yeah, got to get or a new piece of kit to hand out some more torture. Right, thank you very much for your time.
Cheers.
Cheers.